have built a giant data sharing network that allows users on three sides, a buyer, seller, and a person that is in marketing, to trade and buy and sell data between users and members. Data to Leads was the very first company we started. We were originally giving GoHighLevel away for free 4 years ago and giving 5,000 rows of data with GoHighLevel for $500 a month. And as time went on, we built this whole front end and we made it available for anyone to use. There's two main sections of the dashboard. This traditional data section where it's contact info for people, business, and homeowners. All of these records were enriched to the personal cell phone of the homeowner, for instance. So whenever you're looking for someone, if you're looking for anyone in the zip code 30076, and then we want to turn this into a phone list, we now find that there's 17,000 leads that are unique. If this is the list that you want, you can go off, purchase it over here, save it, and it will end up emailing to your email. There's a lot of columns with all the data, so it gets a bit overwhelming. One feature we just added is you can actually pre-select what it is you want to come out of the database. So now you don't have to worry about getting all of those. They're all getting synced together over the next 2 weeks, where this was the very first baby that we produced. In the last couple of weeks, like most of you saw, we now have unlimited intent data. So these are consumers that are interested or potentially interested. With data leads, everything, I like to be very transparent. So these people with a identifier right here, this is you, 256 numbers and letters only for you. It's your social security number of the internet. This particular ID was found on websites that do debt refinancing for student loans. Same thing over here. This is a list of people who are on websites that do community investments, for instance, more like localized parks, stuff like that. Now, this is one where people are looking for clinical recruiting. This is an interesting one because it was a much higher level, it was someone recruiting for a $200,000 job. These people were on websites that were looking to get hired for clinicals. So same idea, you got the Shade 256, and you're able to skip trace that. So all these Shade 256 is the very first thing we find on someone, and we then collect all this other information top down on them. There's multiple addresses, there's multiple cities. I personally only use the personal city, personal state, personal zip, and I stay away from all the others. You can filter if they have children, you can filter their gender, net worth, income. It's really unlimited. Now you have this description feature about what they do. In theory, you would be able to type in the description potentially to get an idea. So this is people looking for clinical recruits. So I'm going to just add health to the company description because, if you have health in your description and you're looking for a clinical job, well, there's a good chance this tied with this filter makes this more accurate. So we're providing you a big batch of data that it is your responsibility to filter this down. So we have, for instance, seniority level. We have staff, we have managers. Maybe because we're recruiting, I'll just say we're looking for a manager because we want to hire a director. So now out of this batch of data, there is 422 people in this category. So we have all the managers listed right here. And then if we wanted to go off, maybe we want to change that to staff because we're looking to hire a manager, we now have nearly 3,000. Every one of these databases, whether it's student debt, weight loss drugs, political interests, roofing in Texas, solar, pest control, unit, the MLB schedule, countless, goes all the way down. All these filters remain the same within all those databases. So this is what they were looking up. And then now, okay, do I want to try to remove people under the age of 18, or maybe want to put people in who are 45 to 54 because they can afford box seats? Whatever the logic is behind it, you have all that flexibility.
What about solar leads? Would that be also in there too as well?
There's plenty of solar. Solar is one of the big categories. This is solar intent that we just updated in March. So there's 736,000. And then we also have something separate. It costs more. It's listed as 1,000 credits for one. These are age solar leads. So these are actual form submissions that I've had them for about a year and a half. I've never listed them. They're listed now. I can tell you call centers that were used to using homeowner data for the whole time they've ever worked with me for 3 or 4 years, they get twice the pickup rate with these. It's available. We charge a little bit more. It's not unlimited for that. It's like 100,000 leads for $1,000. And that gets into the next thing, which is this whole thing's a white label. So if you're subscribed to, let's say, the solar lead package, you would have it in your purchase databases, and all these databases you end up purchasing. And as long as you stay subscribed, you collect them. And as you collect them, like any collectible, your goal is to sell them. You're able to white label the system and then sell any of the databases to any of your users that you want. Any of these databases that you purchased, you then have the ability to sell them at whatever price you want. So once you buy it, you're paying us for host. You pay for the MLB database. That means if someone buys any data from you in 3 months, they're just paying for the download speed. You already have the data. You're not repaying for it. You're just letting them download X amount of records from it. In addition to that, you can pre-create plans, tie in the databases that you want. So if we want to make a solar lead plan, we'd be able to do that real quick. I should say $1,000, 100,000 credits, and then you can control, is it monthly or daily? We'll pick monthly. I don't like doing the free trial. I prefer doing $0 accounts at first. And I'm going to go select off all these other options, but I'll leave them on homeowners just because it goes hand in hand with solar. And I'll also add in one of these. And then when I hit save, and if I go to my pricing page, we now have the plan right here. So someone can then go in, put in their credit card, and you get paid, and now you just sold some data and doubled your money. We do offer a done for you with this. It's $5,000, and we'll set up the whole website whatever way you want. It is not hard. It is straightforward. And within the website as well, in the custom website pages, we made it where you can customize the code. I know GoHighLevel and all these other website builders are really nice, and I love them. However, since ChatGPT has come out, I have found it very efficient just to go off and copy the code that I've already written, go off to my Mr. ChatGPT, like a random category that someone might want to buy. Weirdest one you can think of, paper clips. We can go off and look and say, all right, what other pages do we have? So basically any database that I buy and I install, I build out a website page for it. This really helps with SEO. So if anyone ever looks up LinkedIn users, if anyone ever looks up DeVolt leads for like the tools and all of that, no one's really trying to rank for that. But people do Google it very often. So these little things help a lot, help you bring in a lot of traffic. Again, we have a done for you service with this if you choose to. You can add your own data. If you wanted to upload data for either yourself to have in your own storefront or for you to, let me actually figure out this guy's white label because he just uploaded a bunch of timeshare data, timeshare owners, stuff that I've never been able to get for a very long time. And that's a big reason why we built it this way, because I couldn't get certain data, and I've learned that it doesn't make sense to do stuff that you're not good at, and find someone else that might be a little bit better at it. He just uploaded a database of people who registered and have a renewal for this particular timeshare. He was able to upload this database. The way that you do it is you would build out your database like this. We can name it timeshare, for instance, price it, put a description. Here is your database that you get to build. This looks overwhelming. It really isn't. This is the main thing to pay attention to, the column name. So if your spreadsheet shows to the left first name, for instance, you would just put in first name. Don't worry about this string stuff unless you're doing numbers and decimals. You have nothing to worry about with this. The filter basically says, okay, will I let the user within the database be able to search for it? So you can control what searches someone can and cannot do entirely. Nullable, all that is can you uncheck it and remove it from the download like we did in the very beginning? I always just use text for the most part. You can use a placeholder. And if you want to do a phone number, same thing. It's just over and over again. And you end up building out this table that you can save, and you can actually clone it at a later time. You basically get to pre-build these tables. Now, if you wanted to do data enrichment, it's the same process where you would build a table, upload your data, and then pick which database from the marketplace you'd like to skip trace it to. Now, the last thing I'll show before we take a pause and I'll open up the questions is the custom lists. Any database that you buy, you can subdivide and save the filters. So let's go take a look at the real estate buyer one that I just did. So we can do people in Tampa with phone number. And the reason why it's going to be Tampa with phone number, we're going to flip the switch for mobile, put in the city of Tampa search, and we have 4,046 people. As long as I have this database turned on for myself, we'll be able to take a look. So here's my database, 1.4 million people that Googled to buy a home. And now I have the list already pre-saved. If whether you're white labeling or whether you're using it for yourself, you have this feature. So now you don't have to go through all this over and over and over again. Build the list you want. What this does is we'll remove any records that do not have record there. So if we look at the Skip Trace Wireless, we see some NAs. But if I flip this switch and I hit search or enter, we now see that every single record. This link I dropped in the chat before. These are all the different intent data topics. So, I mean, there's even one for Capcom, for Sega, you name it, it is in here. It breaks it down and it's finding anything with the word toys in it. So there's multiple ways to search. There's the title, the category, and the subcategory, then the description. And this is tied into ChatGPT in the next couple of days. Anything you search, it's going to try to correct it if it doesn't find the category to pull up the best categories that might fit what it is that you're doing.
So since you're going over the topics, I was gonna ask if like tax incentives, employee benefits, are these also keywords that we can search for?
Yeah, let's go type in tax. Here we have research and development tax credit, tax layer as a company, tax implications for real estate. So you can get as specific as you want. In total, there's about 20 categories for tax benefit. So I'm going to try to put employee, household employee, taxation.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's countless of ways that you can look. And just in accounting, there's 230 categories for accounting itself. So they do have countless ways.
Could you do business health insurance?
Yeah, I mean, with that, there's a lot. Like you can do Cobra, for instance. Like if people are on Cobra, then you can do the PPE, or you have every way you can do it. And that's what's really cool. That actually find what you're looking for. So farmers insurance in the biggest category.
Is there a way to look for people like that would have a certain type of website? I have a bunch of I have a provider that deals with only WordPress migration. Like, how would I drill down to that?
That is actually what we're good at. Before we started getting into consumer intent, we basically did everything off of supporting records, tax documents, business documents. But with what you're saying, we'd be able probably to find a source. It would be a custom type of thing, scrape up and then enrich, do our normal process.
Yeah, it's definitely a custom solution.
Someone had me do this for lead. Like, can you find every GoHighLevel website? So I'm like, okay, how can we do that? Well, every single GoHighLevel website has a lead connector. So I wrote a script. I mean, it took a lot of time because I had to do a lot of proxies to scrape it. We were able to find any website with lead connector in it, which was a GoHighLevel website. So then we were able to directly market to them when all said and done.
So would that be something I have to like pay to get a custom script done for, or how would I go about getting? I'm not a coder, so
it would be a custom thing that we would do for you, and we charge usually about between 2,500 to 5,000 for one-offs.
okay.
This I think would be on the little lower side, the 2,500 side, because this isn't the biggest thing is scraping it and the proxies, and that's the big thing because Google's always changing not their rules, but what the triggers in the system are to block it.
Their holograms,
Algorithm, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exactly, yeah. They changed the how they block it, and now that they have all the AI built in, and I just realized I wasn't sharing.
Brian, I got a quick question there. As far as regarding to the like the soda leads or any leads there, as far as on the white label and creating a plan for the users, do we have to purchase the leads first, or they can once we create the plan, they can go ahead and go from there?
Technically, you're supposed to pay the $4.99, but
Is there a way that we can sell that one-off coding for specific clients if we need to? If we talk to somebody and realize, okay, is there some way we can sell that through the site or?
Yeah. So this is the final thing I was going to get into that's coming out slowly but surely. This is the networking as a service, where every white label, every marketplace provider, everything is going to be tied into this type of backend where you can create your own teams. Because, for instance, if you have a scraper that's able to find WordPress, because that's really what we're building, it was a scraper. But yeah, it's all set up where things that we build and connect is all resellable by you through your white label. It might be a little bit rusty at first of, the integrations directly, but we work hand in hand with everybody because this is exactly where it needs to head to, just like what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, because we actually have someone who has a scraper for Zillow, right? Like we're integrate. They're making an API because people obviously want real estate data. People ask all the time, hey, can you skip trace to Zillow? Well, now we have an option where this individual is going to be doing it and charging a penny per record to do it. So any of these scrapers, where anyone that builds scrapers, anything like that, if you know how to keep them updated and functioning right, we'll definitely platform them. LinkedIn declared war on data companies. You guys hear about that?
No, I didn't.
LinkedIn has declared all out war. They banned Apollo. They banned Seamless AI from LinkedIn entirely because they are philosophically not aligned with LinkedIn and scraping it. So LinkedIn's really going after these companies, but we're like a virus because we let all you guys do it. And that's kind of the idea, making it to the point where it's open enough so big companies can't really act as a cartel, right? No data cartels, right? We're all the data that they need. We're creating a network where all of this can intersect and be monetized with users directly in the community.
If you're going to bring a new audience online, then that's a snapshot that you start filtering down from. That's going to be a giant snapshot. He's showing you how you can filter down in any database to any individual.
Yeah, these are your little snapshots, right? So like,
Okay.
you would have to give us the keyword. So I don't have that keyword in a database here because we customize it for each person. But then all the filtering is the same. It doesn't, the same ways that I'm filtering here, the same ways that you would filter in any other database.
So what about automation? Once you filter down and you find the people who you want to talk to, is that something that's done on the platform here, or is that something that we have to then use like a GoHighLevel or something to export to?
GoHighLevel for the workflow to export to. Big reason is I'm someone who's not, I don't believe in fixing what's not broken to a degree. And that's an old stupid saying, and that's actually an excuse. But the main reason is this: I use GoHighLevel. I've been using it for 4 years, and I do emailing. There's no reason to use Instantly. I do all my emailing from here, and you guys probably will see my emails. They work because even if someone doesn't reply, but they're opening the email 2 years later, which there's a lot of people that do, Google recognizes that as you're someone that people actually want to engage with, and they let a lot more of your emails get delivered. And I have 100% deliverability just using GoHighLevel. Now, texting and calling, GoHighLevel is, and it's not even GoHighLevel. The whole industry is messed up with that. So that's the only thing. It's just the whole industry is messed up with texting. But at the very least, I know with the emailing, I use this. I have one workflow. I have a lot of workflows, but there's only one I really use, and that's this one. So I put 40,000 people in there. And slowly it's removing people who aren't opening emails. So we send 2 emails every day, and the emails that are sent, and this is very important, they're informative. None of these emails are trying to sell anybody usually, because I want them to keep opening. And I treat the emails a news article where, okay, in the very first thing in the morning, you open your phone, you read stuff on an app, and every few rows, every few pictures, you have an advertisement. So I'm just taking the same logic, teaching people how to code or build websites without coding, not even talking about selling anything really, only at the very, very bottom. But a lot of this is just info, learning. People love to think they're learning. Another one, business owners, CEOs, investors, how to build a database of CEOs, right? So that, it's just informing people what cookies are, how you can sell subscriptions. And I'm not actually telling people necessarily to pay me. Now, I want to scoot on down to all the way down here to other informative things. So this is an email just teaching people about A2P. I just asked ChatGPT, can you write me an email about this? I'll add a personality and make sure, again, the appointment calendar is on every few rows because it's all relevant and the result is the same every time. I didn't do this in the very beginning. So beginning is in 2021, but this is what my calendar looked like last year. And I was totally chaotic all over the place. This is probably the first time organized in my life. But once I started doing that process, this became the result of bookings of appointments. And it's consistent. And it's from both cold traffic and it's from both hot traffic. I'm sorry, cold and hot. Now, last week, we had a little bit of a down week. The appointments, you see the mornings, they're pretty light. So I ended up adding another 10,000 people to the funnel. And yesterday was light, but we have today and Monday that got heavy again. And it really is from these emails. So did that answer your question?
Yeah.
I
I
got a
just didn't
question
know.
about Brian about the system there that you was just showing. Is there a link in there for that, or is that tied to the avocado?
The email thing I just showed you?
The email building and yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop a link in here, get like a discount with my link on GoHighLevel. But yeah,
Yeah, that's only Go High Level.
yeah, we just use GoHighLevel for that. It's works well, it's not broken, and you have the ability to push all your data into GoHighLevel directly. So if you go to your purchase lists, you'll see right here you have a sync to GoHighLevel button. So now it's $4.99 per database, and you get unlimited downloads from it. So the way it works is step one, make your free account right here. And then step two, you can pick, do you want one intent database or do you want two? All the way up to 10. And I'm going to go up and remove that package we made before. So yeah, right here, you can get one for 500, two for $8.99, or three for $11.99. And then we do have annual plans where you save 33%, and they're going on not that much longer, probably to the end of the week, where for $4,000, you then get a whole year of updates. You get to pick a different database every month. You don't have to use the same database monthly. You can switch back and forth depending on what it is you want for that month. And in addition, you never lose access to anything you previously purchased. So if you bought this in November, you would still have access to it. You don't lose access as long as you stay subscribed. One specific brick like this. So these are all bricks, and each one of these bricks has unlimited downloads and is $4.99 each.
Okay, when you say brick, what is a brick?
A brick is a set of keywords. So you can use this marketplace here and give us any combination of these words you want us to consolidate to put into your brick. And then you get unlimited downloads from there.
I see. So say if I'm looking for business owners with tax credits, so there'll be one brick?
So what you don't have to do, what would be the keyword specifically? That would be step one.
I would say tax credits.
So I would just, so that's better. I would just do tax credits, right? And
Right.
if that was the case, so we're looking for home buyer, R&D, manufacturer, tax savings right here. So this would be the one technically. So this database would go up. There's probably going to be about 500,000 people in the country. And once that database goes up, you then have the ability to do the custom filters for, let's say, restaurant owners. So as an example, this is 500,000 people looking to replace windows. That's all I know about them right now. They look to replace windows. But I can turn this into a list of people who own restaurants by changing the seniority to CXO, and then also putting in the industry as restaurant, just like we were saying. So it's the same rule for everything. It's just the database has changed. So in this database of window replacement interest, which is a consumer thing, it's not a business thing particularly, there's 183 people in this whole database that are restaurant owners that were looking for window replacements. So now we can just substitute window replacement, particular with the keyword for the tax savings.
Analytics, as far as the traffic coming to our websites, I know I've been sending traffic. Is there any way we can view that, or is that in place?
On the white label, so you can see the traffic there.
Yes, sir.
Yes. There's two things. There's a customer activity tracking. Do you have your analytics set up on Google yet? Like, do you have the Google Pixel Analytics done or no?
I started setting it up. I didn't know actually where to place the tracking code for Google.
Yeah, anyone that wants to get the tracking, just go connect your website to analytics. Just have to validate the domain, and then you'll be able to pull the traffic. So I made a lot of the rules already. So anytime someone logs in, gets to the white label page, and there's 29 people that made it to the dashboard in the last 30 minutes, these are all triggers I have pre-done that I can do with you. So just shoot. You have my number, right? The 561 number. Okay, yeah, just message me there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then where do we pull the actual data of the people that have been on our website?
So the people that have been on your website, that's not this. So the intent data
Got
are
it.
the feeds that we provide through here. And then if it's your white label, like you white labeled your own advocate data and made your own data brokerage, you can have people sign up and pay you for the data that you buy from us. So for instance, we have, what's your white label name? I think, who was that? Trend Media?
Yeah, Training Media Solutions.
Training Media Solutions, it's called, the white label.
Oh, no. My white label name is actually Data Dash to Leads.
Another white label, creatively enough, the data-2-leads. And same exact thing as advocate data, except all of these can be customized for your own business. So this gentleman here specifically likes gutters. He made his own little video. Hey, everybody from gutterleads.com on today. And then, he copied some of what I did, which is fine. Specializing in gutters, leaf filters, home improvement, put his military background. He explains a bit about the key words, Sell My Home, MCA. So pretty straightforward. I helped him with this part, the book called the Step 1, Step 2, Step 3 for the white label. I personally started doing that myself. Our life got quite a bit easier, where people actually, didn't have as many questions, or when they had a question, they were at the Step 3 part. That's the best way to, in my opinion, to put together your white label specifically. But yeah, there's about 150 white labels right now. And we just got it set up where if you're using Stripe, you can do recurring payments, so you don't have to rebill everybody monthly. It'll be an auto pay.
How do we follow that commissions to you and so with through the Stripe thing, and when that does take place after they may have let's say started a free trial or something, and then they get activated? How does that work?
So for them to start a free trial, they still have to put a card in on the $0 account. So you aren't able just to let people come in. They have to put a credit card in your system, because we need to have the ability to ban people if they're scraping and doing stuff they shouldn't. And that's our only way to do it, is ban it by credit card.
Okay, and then once they're let's say let's say you give them a 3-day trial, and once they is activated, and once the funds actually, I guess, go through Stripe is what I'm trying to say. What is the time frame? How does it work as far as paying you for the commission base?
So that was a different model. You're talking about the 30% model. So we'll talk about that. That's actually something we're getting back online. So Hakeem, he's talking about the thing you were talking about, the fees, if they're not paying up front. But yeah, that's something we'll discuss. Just shoot me a message for that as well. There's a lot of things for us to do on your side. So let's go through all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, there's still a lot of work to be done. There's a whole lot that we're doing. So, I appreciate it. Everybody working with us through this is how we get all these things get kind of in place and automated. And
I do like the questions. It's been like a fire hose. Like it's been a lot of good ones that I've had to think about how to do. So I do like that.
Say we want to go into a new vertical and look for intent. Is it the same cost whether we're doing B2B or B2C? Correct.
And so every brick is what we charge you for, and they go down in price as you buy more. It's elastic and how that works.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What if we want to add to that brick? Like say if we like use a brick for 6 months, and then we want to see if there's more available or newer leads, fresher leads in that same brick. How does that automatically update within our back office, or just what we purchase is what we get until we buy more?
Correct. So everything you buy ends up here. You don't lose access, but what we just added were these folders. So now, okay, if there's multiple, let's say you now go back and you want the same one 6 months later, it's set up where now we can drop them in these folders for you. So now you'll be able to go from the one 6 months ago to the newest updated one that you just upgraded to. So every month you can, if you want to change the category every month at the $4.99, you can do that. And then you always can continue to access the previous ones. All these you never lose access to.
So once we pay the $4.99, we can, if we want to update it, we don't have to pay the $4.99 again. We can just update that same list.
No. So let's say month 1 you pay $4.99. Month 2 you can either update that list or you can replace it with another word.
Okay, so that is for one brick, and then next month you can move on to another brick.
Correct. So if you wanted to go from lavender to crypto in month 1, month 2, you could do that. So now their database this month would be of people looking up crypto wallets.
So predefined bricks, right?
No, they're not predefined. You get to give us any combination of these words over here. You can give us one word. You can give us 1,000 words.
Okay.
We'll combine them together.
Okay.
The max that it will push out at once, though, is 500,000. So there are some categories, like for instance, hip hop. 364,000 people Google it a week, for instance, or that we're able to capture. But if we were going to look at real estate buyers, about 2 million people Google that a week. So
if you put buyers on the end of whatever we give you, does that helps drill down to people who are actually looking with intent to buy? or they've just Googled that word or those words?
So they're on websites that show they have intent to buy that service or buy that product. So if I'm on Lending Tree, it's probably because I'm looking for a loan.
Got you.
Yeah.
From AT&T about.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Looks like we're coming down to the last question or two. I don't know if there's any questions left in the queue. It's been a fantastic AMA this week. And then I know we're going to have some follow-ups hereafter. So yeah, I guess if there's any last questions, let's bang them out. We got about 8
I got
minutes
one
left.
last question, Hakeem.
Yep.
How do we duplicate this? Let's say, you may want to recruit a team or make an affiliate marketing or whatever.
Ooh, Brian, here's what I think we need to do. I think Friday, that other thing that we were doing that we can move, I think we should replace that with affiliate program stuff.
Bingo.
Yep. So here's what we're going to do for anybody who is interested in this. Just be on the lookout for some messaging coming through from Brian. On Friday, we'll try and host a space where we really, talk about how we implement the affiliate program. We don't just want to show you guys where it's at, right? Just like everything else, we want to understand how we could best support you in doing this. Because obviously, if you're successful, we're successful. So, that's how it should be. And we like it that way. We're very comfortable with it that way. And so for us, it's just like, how do we not only just lace you up on where the affiliate stuff is, because it all exists, but like, how do we best implement and maximize this program? Because it's really an amazing program.
Yeah, and then all their affiliate stuff you can track right now. So the link is working. You just go to your profile. You don't need to have
Yeah, you want to show them where that is real quick? I know you went there while I was talking, so you can
so you
walk
just
through
the
it.
avocado in the top right. Go to account, and you got your affiliate link here. And then if you want to track everything, you would go to menu, affiliate customers, and then you can keep track of everything here. They subscribed, what's their number, their email, and track all the income and revenue you earned.
I like it.
Yeah. So Friday, I think though, this is the reason that I mentioned that is just that, this is a discussion we've been having, literally every morning is on our like number 1, 2, 3 priority list of like, we're missing, opportunity. And if we're missing opportunity, then you guys are missing opportunity. And so we need to better communicate and support the affiliate program. So, look out for some information on another AMA session that we'll be doing probably, I guess, Fridays. We'll talk about it and lock in some details and send it out.
Any last-
All right. I was going to say, do we have any last questions? We got like 5 minutes left. We could wrap this up, wind this down. We've all got stuff to get to, and hopefully this has been informative and helpful. And for those of you who need who are supposed to schedule follow-up time, Brian, make sure you get them a calendar link so they can schedule that time, or just ping Brian and you guys can get on the calendar. Let's get everybody on board and everybody situated and squared away. I appreciate everybody, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Meeting is adjourned.